Welcome, dear listeners. The story we are going to talk about today will not only entertain you, but will also teach you how to face your doubts and fears and will help you in learning English to improve it. It's not just about Jim Carrey. It is about pain, poverty, faith in yourself, and everything that is inside it. You are listening to a story which teaches you to survive when the world is against you, and to be strong in front of the world when your heart is broken. You will also learn real English in a natural way through emotions, events, and powerful vocabulary. So stay till the end because this is going to be a very powerful story of your life. And if you like stories that are simple, emotional, and improve your English, then don't forget to subscribe and tell me in the comments how you like this story. Let's begin. Part 1. Early Life and Struggles. Jim Carrey was born on January 17, 1962, in a small town called Newmarket in Canada. His family was not rich. They were poor. Jim had a mom, a dad, and 3 older siblings, a brother and 2 sisters. Their house was small, and sometimes it was cold. The walls were thin, and the wind came through the windows. Jim's family worked hard, but money was always a problem. When Jim was a young boy, life became even harder. His dad, Percy Carrey, lost his job. Percy was an accountant, but the company he worked for closed. Suddenly, there was no money for food, clothes, or rent. Jim's family had to move out of their house. For a while, they lived in a van. Yes, a van. It was not a home, but it was all they had. Jim, his parents, and his siblings slept in that van, parked by a river. They were cold, hungry, and scared. Jim was only 12 years old, but he wanted to help. He got a job as a janitor. After school, he went to a factory. He swept floors. He cleaned dirty machines. He scrubbed bathrooms. The work was hard, and his hands hurt. Sometimes he felt tired and sad. Why is life so hard, he thought. But he kept working because he loved his family. At school, Jim was different. He was quiet, but he loved to make people laugh. He made funny faces. He did silly voices. His classmates laughed, and for a moment, Jim forgot his problems. He felt happy. Deep in his heart, a dream was growing. Jim wanted to be a comedian. He wanted to make the whole world laugh. But how could a poor boy from Canada become a star? It seemed impossible. Jim's mom, Kathleen, was often sick. She had headaches and felt weak. Jim worried about her. He tried to cheer her up. "Mom, look at this," he said one day. He stood in the middle of their tiny living room and pretended to be a chicken. He flapped his arms and clucked loudly. Kathleen laughed until tears came to her eyes. "Oh, Jim, you are so funny," she said. That moment was special. Jim realized something important. Laughter could make people feel better, even when life was hard. But there were days when Jim felt alone. He sat by the river near their van and looked at the water. Will we ever have a real home? He wondered. Will my dreams ever come true? He didn't know the answers, but he kept his dream alive. He told himself, one day, I will be on stage. One day, I will make movies. One day, I will be a star. Part 2. The Power of Belief. Jim was a teenager now. His family moved to a small apartment, but they were still poor. Jim kept working as a janitor, but he also started performing. He went to comedy clubs in Toronto. These were small places where people told jokes and did funny acts. Jim was nervous. His hands shook. His heart beat fast. What if they don't laugh, he thought. But he walked onto the stage. The first time Jim performed, it was not easy. He told jokes, but the audience was quiet. Some people didn't laugh. Jim felt embarrassed. He wanted to run away, but he didn't. He went back the next night, and the next. Each time, he tried new jokes. He made funnier faces. He practiced his voices. Slowly, people started to laugh. They clapped. They cheered. Jim felt alive. One day, Jim made a big decision. He wanted to believe in himself. He took a piece of paper and wrote a check. It was not a real check. It was just for him. On the check, he wrote, Jim Carrey, $10 million. He dated it for 1995, many years in the future. He put the check in his wallet. Every day he looked at it. One day, I will earn this money, he said. I will be a star. Jim moved to Los Angeles, California. This was the city of movies and dreams. But Los Angeles was not easy. Jim had no money. He lived in a small, dirty apartment. Sometimes he had no food. He went to auditions, but many times people said, "No, you're not good enough." Jim felt sad, but he remembered his check. He remembered his dream. One night, Jim drove to a hill in Los Angeles. He looked at the city lights. They sparkled like stars. He took out his check and held it. "I will make it," he whispered. "I will not give up." That moment gave him strength. Years passed. Jim worked hard. He got small roles in TV shows. He performed in comedy clubs. People started to know his name. Then, in 1994, something amazing happened. Jim got a big movie role in a film called Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. It was a funny movie, and Jim was the star. The movie was a hit. People loved it. They laughed at Jim's crazy faces and silly voices. And guess what? For that movie, Jim was paid $10 million. His check came true. His dream came true. Jim smiled when he thought about that check. He worked hard, and he believed in himself. That belief changed his life. Part 3. Overcoming Fear. Jim Carrey became a big star. He made more movies, like The Mask and Dumb and Dumber. People all over the world knew his name. He made millions of dollars. He had a big house and nice cars. But Jim still had fears. Being famous was not easy. People watched him all the time. They wanted him to be funny every day. Sometimes, Jim felt pressure. What if I fail, he thought. What if people don't like me anymore? One day, Jim sat in his house and thought about his life. He remembered his days as a janitor. He remembered living in a van. He remembered his mom's smile when he made her laugh. Those memories gave him courage. He said to himself, "I was afraid before, but I kept going. I can keep going now." Jim once shared a powerful idea. He said, "You can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance on doing what you love." These words are important. They mean, don't let fear stop you. If you love something, try it. Even if you fail, you will learn. Even if you're scared, you will grow. Jim followed his own advice. He tried new things. He made serious movies, like The Truman Show. Some people said, "Jim, you're a comedian. Don't do serious roles." But Jim didn't listen. He wanted to challenge himself. The Truman Show was a success. People loved it. Jim proved he could do more than comedy. Jim's life teaches us about fear. Everyone is afraid sometimes. Maybe you're afraid to speak English. Maybe you're afraid to try something new. But Jim says, take a chance. Follow your dreams, even if you're scared. You might surprise yourself. Part 4. Sharing Wisdom. In 2014, Jim Carrey gave a speech at a university. Many students were there, listening. Jim wore a black robe, like a teacher. He smiled, but his words were serious. He wanted to share what he learned in life. He wanted to help others. In his speech, Jim said, "Choose love over fear." What does this mean? It means, when you make a choice, think about love. Love for yourself. Love for others. Love for your dreams. Fear can stop you, but love can make you strong. Jim also said, "The effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is." Let's understand this. Currency means money, but Jim is not talking about dollars or coins. He means the way you help people, the way you make them smile, the way you inspire them. That is the most important thing. When you make someone happy, you create something special. Jim told a story in his speech. He talked about his dad, Percy. Percy wanted to be a musician, but he was afraid. He thought, I need a safe job to take care of my family. So, Percy became an accountant. But then he lost his job. Jim said, my dad could have been a great musician, but fear stopped him. Don't let fear stop you. The students clapped. They felt inspired. Jim's words were like a light in the dark. He showed them that life is about choices. Choose courage. Choose kindness. Choose love. Jim's speech became famous. People watched it on the internet. They shared it with friends. His words helped people around the world. Jim was not just a comedian anymore. He was a teacher, a guide, a friend. Conclusion. Jim Carrey's story is like a map for life. He started with nothing, no money, no home, no easy path. But he had a dream. He had hope. He had courage. He faced problems, but he never gave up. His life teaches us important lessons. Let's look at them. 1. Believe in yourself. Jim wrote a check for $10 million when he was poor. He believed he could do big things. You can believe in yourself too. Maybe you want to learn English. Maybe you want to get a better job. Say to yourself, I can do it. 2. Face your fears. Jim was scared to perform on stage. He was scared to try new roles. But he did it anyway. When you feel afraid, take a small step. Try. You will get stronger. 3. Follow your dreams. Jim wanted to make people laugh. He worked hard for his dream. What is your dream? Maybe it's big, maybe it's small. Keep working for it. 4. Help others. Jim said the effect you have on others is valuable. Smile at someone. Help a friend. Share what you know. You can make the world better. Jim's story is not just about becoming famous. It's about becoming strong. It's about becoming kind. It's about becoming you, the best version of you. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Jim Carrey's story. His life shows us that dreams can come true, even when life is hard. You are learning English, and that is a big dream too. Keep practicing. Keep trying. Keep believing in yourself. Just like Jim, you can face your fears and achieve great things. If you feel tired, remember Jim sweeping floors as a janitor. If you feel scared, remember Jim standing on stage. If you feel alone, remember Jim's words. Choose love over fear. You are not alone. You are strong. You are learning. Come back to this story when you need inspiration. Read it again. Practice the words. Share it with others. And never, ever give up. Thank you, and happy learning.